I'm talking about the use of Subversion in distributed projects. So Subversion is a version control software used to control projects where you have distributed programmers physically. So say you have one big project worked on by international teams, you need a method for managing all the code of all the teams. So what Subversion allows you to do is it allows you to back up the code as you work. So you work on the code, you put it into the SVN repository, and once that's performed, it's automatically backed up. You're also able to resolve problems. For example, if I write some code and someone else writes some code and there's conflicts, SVN will tell you the conflicts and you'll be able to resolve them. It has various other features which I won't go into depth with, but generally it's good. Okay, so a normal use of SVN would involve logging in to the SVN repository, and if it's your first time logging in, you'll check out a piece of code, normally the whole project or depending on what you're working on. Then once you've got some code, you can make your changes or completely write a new method, new class, new piece of code, whatever you want. Then you test your changes to make sure you haven't broken the code, that's very important, and then commit your changes to the SVN repository. Then everyone else can just click update and they'll get all your changes and it'll simply integrate with how they were doing their code already. Now, problems can occur if you're changing the file and someone else is changing the file, and you both change the same part of the file. Anytime you change different parts of the file, it will automatically sort of work out what was meant to happen. Once you've created a conflict, you can resolve it and then upload the changes. You're also able to view logs of what's been changed. So if suddenly you get into work and update your SVN repository and suddenly the code doesn't work, you can see who last night changed the code so that you can then blame them for breaking the code and work out a resolution. My experience with Subversion is here, info. We did a bit of Subversion, and also at NCSS I worked on a project using Subversion, and for Software 1901, our major project, we've been using Subversion. The great thing about Subversion is that we were able to be distributed and still sort of talk to each other with code. We're also able to use another messaging system to chat to each other. So for example, I could easily request a method, someone else could implement it while I'm still writing the code that requires that method. And that's the great thing about Subversion. I hope you'll use it. It has really good features. It allows a very simple method for distributing a project, and it's great for resolving conflicts. Thank you.
Thanks.